It's a brand new year, 2026, and we are here with a brand new collaboration book release. And this isn't just any book release. This is a very, very special book that is the first part of a 9-book series on the fruit of the Spirit. So today's book is all about love. Love, the greatest of these, is now on Amazon.com for you to grab not only a copy for yourself, but maybe for someone who's really struggling, trying to understand what love means in their life. Maybe they're going through some family issues. Maybe they're going through some loss as well. Or maybe you're wanting to do a book study, something in this new season to really spring forth 2026, this is the book for you. What an incredible time of year, not only for us to be focusing on the love of Christ, but also to hear 10 incredible stories of life well lived and love that has grown through the course of many, many, many different situations and life events and family and friends. The stories, I'm telling you, we were in podcasts today and boohooing our faces and laughing and crying. These stories are meant not just for our authors. They lived it so that you could take hold of the true hope that Jesus is. So we're going to get a chance to meet 9 of our 10 authors tonight. Many of them are here in the room with us. Everybody give it up for all of our authors. We are also going to have a couple of authors that are going to be visiting us from their remote locations today. We're so glad that they're with us as well. We're in a brand new office space, our Hope Books office space in Matthews, North Carolina. You might be here soon. I'm just saying, there's an opportunity for you to be a part, and we'll talk about that at the very end. But without further ado, I want to introduce each and every one of our authors to you. They're going to share a little bit about their chapter. Our prayer for you is that you see your story within the chapter. Grab yourself a copy, and I'm telling you, you're going to be extremely blessed. I am, and through the process of working with each and every single one of these authors, they've not only taught me something, they've also taught our team something. I'm just so very proud of each and every one of them and their entire support systems that are with us too. So we're excited to have each one. All right, I'd love to introduce to you our very first author tonight. Would y'all give it up for Sephora? Y'all give it up for Sephora. Oh, I'm so proud. Okay, Sephora, your chapter 1.
Yes.
1, the beginning. Works with support. We call her Zippy for short. It's the best thing on the planet. Your chapter is called The Marriage Covenant, living out the till death do us part while it's not the happily ever after. Air quotes on purpose, for a purpose. Why don't you share with everybody watching tonight a little bit about your chapter?
Sure. This chapter is about living in the... Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm a little nervous.
I'm nervous too. What are you talking about?
Well, this chapter is about formation and what it looks like when you're living in the unexpected, and the surprises that you find in the unexpected, and how God uses that to change your life and to change the person that you are and to draw you closer to himself and give you a revelation of himself.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait for people to get to hear the podcast too. As we're talking about that mindset that almost all women have. We want the happily ever after, the perfect wedding, and then the marriage hits. And then time happens. And then we realize, especially for Christ followers, we have to have a really solid relationship with our Heavenly Father and not live vicariously through our spouse.
Exactly. Yeah. And the things that happen during that season or during those times when it's not what you thought it would be. Those are the moments that God meets us. And those are the rich moments where we get to experience his love more fully, because rather than waiting for our husband or our wife to fulfill that aspect that we need, that God-shaped hole in all of us, he meets us, and he meets us right there where we feel that we should be getting it, but then we get it from from God Himself, rather than relying and expecting it from our spouse.
Yeah, what an aha moment, especially for if you're newly married, or you're engaged, or you're getting ready to be married, or you're just trying to plan the future, or maybe you're in a marriage and you feel like things are just not, I'm not sure what it is. It's not, this is a chapter for you. So let me ask you, we ask this for every single one of our authors. What is one hope-filled thing you would love for somebody watching tonight to get from your chapter?
God is enough.
That's good.
We don't need to be fulfilled by any person or anything. God is enough, and He will meet us exactly where we are when we need Him.
I love that. That is truth to hold on to.
Amen.
We're so proud of you, Sephora. Great job. Everyone give it up for Sephora tonight. Listen, that is the word. The word. God is enough. He is enough. He can meet us right where we are, even if things did not turn out the way that we thought it was going to be. It's always going to be better with Him at the center of it, right? So as we're preparing for our next author to come to the incredible marble table, you can find this book. It's called Love, the Greatest of These. It's literally my new favorite cover of this book for certain. At Amazon.com, you can grab yourself a copy, grab a couple of copies. Do us a big favor. If you have an author that you are supporting tonight, why don't you put their name in the chat? I want to see confetti cannons. I want to see cupcakes. I want little hearts in all the different colors. I want to see all of it, because you are just as much a part of this as they are in the room. We want them to know that they're not only supported, but so very loved. So shout out your favorite author. If it's all of them, just say all of them. All of them, because it is that important. All right. So I'd love to welcome up to the table our second author of tonight, Rebecca. Rebecca, why don't you come on up? Rebecca's like, I'm not going to keep you long, I promise.
Thanks.
I got you, buddy. Okay, your chapter is called An Unexpected Gift.
Yeah.
You have quite a story to share, big family. So why don't you share a bit about your story?
Okay, so I'm here because I just want to give all glory to God for changing my life by inviting me into foster care and adoption. I haven't always felt this way. I went down kicking and screaming, but I came back up a different person.
Yeah.
Part of that was just because it was so scary, all the challenges with disability and figuring that out along the way, and just not knowing how to manage it all correctly, and feeling like a failure as a mother, and like, God, how is this okay with you? Like, it's not okay with me. Like, this level of suffering, I didn't think I could tolerate it. But, part of what I share in my story is like, His ways are not our ways, and we can trust Him.
Yeah.
When things get hard, and it is so worth it. I feel like the luckiest girl in the world to have my sons. I wouldn't trade my life for anything. So
5 kiddos.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. 2 of them from foster care.
That's right.
Yes. So if you're watching and you might have found yourself in this place too, where you're in an unexpected situation, kicking and screaming, listen, how many times have we all found ourselves in some situation kicking and screaming, but yours was a very specific one.
Absolutely.
And then diagnoses that came through time, but being able to experience the gift of God's love through loving your boys from a different place, and not allowing the world or self-help books or what other parents might say or impart into your parenting style. You allowed the Lord to be the center, and allowed Him to, and still are allowing Him to guide you through the process. So if you could share one hope-filled thing with those who are watching tonight, what would it be?
That would be that it is such a gift that God does not value what we value. We look at prestige, academics, like standing in the world in terms of just what's on the outside. And God really just looks at the heart.
Yeah.
And it really just doesn't matter what we can contribute in an earthly sense. It matters that we are His child.
Yeah.
And the identity He's placed on us. And we all have that.
Agreed. 100%. Yeah. We're so very proud of you, friend. Great job. Listen, it is not easy to come up to this table and be on a camera, because the other ones are watching on a screen right over there. It is what it is. But let me tell you something. Rebecca's right. the unexpected gifts that the Lord gives us when we allow him to unfold our story and allow him to not only love us, but teach us how to love from a different place is unlike anything we will ever experience. And you're going to see that in each one of these chapters. As each author comes up, each chapter really is, it's so interesting on how the Lord puts the chapters together, because they really do build off of each other, and they're so connected, yet they're so very, very different. That's one thing you're going to love about reading each one of their stories. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Nicole to the stage. Come on down, Nicole. Hello. Nicole is my Ohio friend, my new Ohio friend. Chapter 3, your chapter is called Love in Service, How My Father Shaped My Heart. I cannot wait for them to hear about this chapter as well. Why don't you share with our audience today?
Thank you so much. My chapter is really a tribute to my father. And I open with his yes, a yes that he said to the Lord that changed my life, and my son, Braden's, who is here with us today. When my dad was just out of Vietnam, he was in the war, and he was trying to put his life back together. He saw some of his friends going down the wrong path, and he is a decorated war veteran, and he had a lot of trauma in the war, and he earned a Purple Cross and a Navy Heart, and he came back, and something happened. A miracle happened. I was left with him, and unfortunately abandoned by my mother, but my father chose, over the uncertainty, over the grief, over the trauma of war, to become my family and to adopt me. And that choice, his brave but quiet yes, changed everything. And my chapter is about that. We've all been there. We've all had a time when life feels uncertain. We feel lost. We feel like we have self-doubt. We don't know what's coming next. But when we open our hearts and we listen to God and he calls us, we don't have to have it all figured out. We don't have to be brave, because he doesn't call the ready. He calls the willing. And you just have to have a willing heart. And my dad had that willing heart despite everything that he experienced. And in my chapter, I go on and talk about how his belief in me changed me because of my humble beginning and my abandonment. I was very shy as a child, and I didn't know what I could accomplish. And him believing in me every step of the way, he would tell me I was ready. I didn't feel ready, but he would tell me I was ready. And there's so many examples in the chapter from my childhood where he was there and he encouraged me, whether it's on the snowy hill or on the roller coaster. There's a whole thing about the height line. I'm not going to give it away, but
Gotta buy the book.
yeah, definitely. But he was always there. So I like to say I borrowed his belief in me until I had believed in myself, and he taught me to believe in myself. And I wouldn't be here without his brave and quiet yes and his choice.
I love that. And we were talking about that earlier today. You borrowed some of his courage, his yes for yourself, and was able to not only write this chapter, but accomplish so many wonderful things. And that was something I found so profound, for us to be able to borrow from one another.
Exactly.
The experiences that we have, the courage, the love that God gives to us, we can borrow from one another because he's within us, right? The courage that your father had. And I love also what you said. He does not call the equipped, he equips the called.
Yeah.
Always. And we have everything that we need for the season ahead. We just might not know that it's in there
Exactly.
just yet. But the call is what sharpens us.
Yes.
So it sharpens us to say yes and to move forward. So
and his plan for us is bigger than we can even imagine.
So much.
And we need to believe that and lean into our faith. Yeah. And when we do, we can accomplish things that we never dreamed of.
We sure can. So what is one hopeful thing you'd love for somebody watching tonight to get from your chapter?
If you're in a time where you have self-doubt or you don't know what's next and you have a decision to make, I would say just lean into your faith and trust God to move forward despite the uncertainty, because God doesn't call the ready, he calls the willing, and a willing heart can move mountains.
Yes, absolutely. Well, great job there. I'm so proud. Listen, it's nerve-wracking to get up here. They're killing it. They're rocking it tonight. Oh my goodness. I'm so very proud of our authors. You know, it's one thing, like, this is very nerve-wracking. It is for most people, but there are also people who feel like it's a scary place to write about their stories. And these 10 authors have done something that some people might find impossible. They found the courage to say yes to sharing their stories with you. And so grab your copy on Amazon. We'll put the link right in the chat. If you are here to support one of our authors, please give them big shout outs right now. We're so very proud. This is not an easy thing to do. And they have begun a beautiful journey of getting their hope-filled words out into the world by publishing a book. They published a book and I love it. I'm so proud. All right, chapter 4. We're going to go in order of our chapters in our book. So chapter 4, we're going to hear from none other than Ms. Caitlin. Would y'all give it up for Caitlin? Hello. I do love the color. I'm the biggest fan of the color of your outfit.
Thank
All
you.
right, your chapter is called A Love Letter from the Willow.
Yes, it is.
Share all the things.
Okay, all the things. Where do
We're
we
not
start?
all the things because we want you to buy the book.
Short,
So she
short
can't
words.
share
Got
all
it.
of it. Short words.
Got
Short phrases.
Okay.
Go for it. Sorry.
Okay, so I start my chapter with a visual representation of a willow tree. Again, you'll have to read the chapter to find out more about those things, but I really tie it into the Father's love, right? Like there's such a tangible connection out in nature anyways, with just the love of the Father. And so I walk through a couple of hard seasons of my life. And in those
You said it with such a smile. Some hard seasons of
my life, because they may be hard right now, but you will get through them.
Yeah.
So I do say it with a smile today, but I walked through it with a lot of tears.
I've had so many smiles.
A lot of tears. This chapter was birthed from some really painful places. And I talk about the in-between from pain and how we respond to that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think we have a beautiful invitation to get to what does having a love letter from the Lord look like.
Yeah.
And so we get a unique opportunity to walk through what is our response going to be to the pain that we're enduring and walking through, and then also how are we going to forgive? How do we love through the hard things? Because on the other side of pain, there's usually another person. And we all are loved by God the same way. And so we get a unique opportunity to decide what our response is going to be to the pain and also how we move forward from there.
I find, at least I have found through, I'm a youngin' too. She's a baby. I'm a baby. It is what it is.
We're both babies.
We're both babies. But to love someone really to the fullest extent takes more forgiveness than what we're willing to admit.
Yes.
And you do tap into that quite a bit for how important forgiveness is in the process of not only loving someone, but also receiving God's love.
Sure.
I mean, he died willingly on a cross for us to forgive us of every sin we would ever commit.
And one of the things I talk about that's heavier is false accusations. And I keep going back to even Jesus was falsely accused.
Yeah.
So what was hard and painful and lonely and isolating, the Lord still took me through to help other people through those things. And so there's just a bigger story than what we can unpack right here and right now. So go read the chapter. Go read the
chapter because she's not going to tell you everything. But what is one hope-filled thing you would love for them to catch?
I was going to say press in, so you've already heard that. So I'm going to give you something different. I think it's just know that you will get through whatever you're facing today, even if it feels impossible. You will get through. God will fulfill and sustain you through this.
It will not always be like this.
It will not always be
If you hear
like
that
this.
phrase and let it saturate in your heart, it won't always be this way. But the thing that you're going through is to set you up for what's to come in a
Absolutely.
good way. I mean, if it's centered in his will and it's centered in Christ,
Absolutely.
and the way you act and react is centered according to, the lens of Jesus.
Yes.
It's always going to be better on the other side. It's going to give us some tough skin, going to make us nice and strong.
Tough
But
skin.
Tough skin.
Through tears. but tough skin.
And then later smiles.
Yes, smiles today.
Smiles today, maybe not yesterday, but today we're going to
Yes.
have some smiles. So
Yes.
congratulations, my
Thank
friend. I'm
you.
so very
Thank
proud of
you
you.
so
So
much.
very proud of you. I'll give it up for
Thank
Caitlin.
you.
I'm telling you, this is good stuff. For this to be the very first book of 2026, this year's looking really good, people. I'm so excited. Right? So excited. So excited. For those of you who are just joining in, we are at our brand new office space in Matthews, North Carolina, right on none other than Library Lane, and which is the most fun thing. I'm so excited. We have an incredible group of authors with us with the first book of 2026, and that is Love, the Greatest of These. This is our first book in a series of books, 9 in all, each one of them on the fruit of the Holy Spirit. We're so excited to get to share their stories with you. If you're just now joining with us, make sure you go back later on and watch the first couple of authors. And we've got 9 authors with us in total, both here and online. We're so excited that you're with us tonight. All right, so our next author is none other than Miss Joy Waller. Would everybody give it up for literal joy walking in the door? Literal joy. You know what I find so funny? We have 2 joys on this book.
How about that?
The book Love. Shouldn't you have been in the book of Joy? No, I'm just kidding. You're in the right book. This is the right book, especially with this chapter. And we record a podcast with all of our authors that are here on site. And this was my boohoo. My boohoo one right here, because it just hits very, very close to home. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but your chapter is called Dance With Me, Loving Sacrificially. Why don't you share with everybody about your chapter?
Yes. So I got to be a part, and I'm still a part. My journey's continuing, but a part of God rescuing and redeeming my mother.
I love that.
And the metaphor dance that I've incorporated in the chapter is something I've learned about my mom along this journey, is that she had a love for dancing, and I didn't even know it. A short story that I have in my chapter is I got to see my mom in an assisted living, just gliding across the dance floor so effortlessly. And I thought, how beautiful. And I had to step into a place of caring for her, walking through some very difficult challenges. Very difficult. You know, when you go through a parent's home and you touch every single thing in a home. So there's the things, the emotions, all of it. The Lord did a work in my life as well through this. Had to face some of my own emotions of walking through this. None of us expect or, really look for the day our parents are aging and struggling and what that can be like. But I watched God provide in ways that I didn't know how it was going to work out. And, to see where my mom is today and how she is, and just, to know, okay, He is helping her through this season in her life, and I get to see it.
And you get to see it. You get to be a part of that.
Yes.
Not many people can say that.
This is so true.
Oh man, to be able to be at a place where you can see the true love of the Father as you are taking care of the one who changed your diapers.
Yes. That's
not an easy thing.
And that's it. She cared for me and released me one day.
Yeah.
And now I get to step in and care for her.
Yeah.
You
What
know?
an honor.
Yeah, it
What
is.
an
It
honor.
is an honor.
Yeah.
It really is an honor. And I included this statement in the book too, because one of the things that really resonated in my heart is to see, as I care for a parent, and as I talk to others about caring for a parent, it's not what the parent did for me. It's not what they do for us. We just honor and care for our parents because that's who they are.
Because that's
And
who they are.
because it's what God said to do.
Yeah. Yes. It's very clear in scripture.
Amen.
Honor your father and your mother. This will make your days long on the earth. Very, very clear. All right. What is one hope-filled thing you would love for someone to catch from your chapter?
God is always at work in the details, even when I can't see it.
That's so good.
Proverbs, there's a verse in Proverbs that stands out to me, Proverbs 21, that the heart of a king is like streams of water in the hand of God, and He directs it where He wills.
He directs.
And then you take that scripture and then look in Matthew 6, and God is aware of every bird.
Yeah.
And if a bird falls to the ground, He knows.
Yeah.
God cares. And He was working the details in my mother's life before I ever knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And He was just stirring my heart. This is the path. I could trust Him in it.
You can trust Him in it.
Amen.
Well, Joy, we're so very proud.
Oh,
Very,
thank
very
you.
proud. listen, this particular chapter, if you deal with aging parents or even we were even talking about family members or people in your family with special needs and you're not necessarily sure what to do, this is a great chapter for you to find hope and encouragement in what may seem like some very, very hard seasons in the moment. We go back to Caitlin, very hard seasons in the moment, but these are all ways that God can show us how he loves us even more and honestly help us grow in our love for others.
Absolutely.
So, yes, very proud of you, my
Thank
friend.
you.
Y'all give it up for Joy. Speaking of Joy, our next author, chapter 6 author is Joy Caswell. She's not able to be with us tonight, but her chapter is called The Heart I Tried to Save, A Journey Through Love, Domestic Violence, Compassion, and the Unbearable Cost of Addiction. This particular chapter is heavy laden with just beautiful notes of how the Lord himself was not only teaching her how to love, but also how to see her own children and to see her family members in a different light. And if you're someone or know someone who struggles with addiction, or even struggles with suicidal thoughts, this chapter is going to be a game changer and an encouragement for you and for those around you. So I highly recommend jumping into that. And Joy, if you're watching this later on, I know you had an engagement tonight. We're so very proud of you. We're so thankful that you're a part of the Hope Books family. All right, chapter 7, I would love to welcome up to the lovely platform Miss Emily Chapman, all the way from Cali, detour in Nashville. Why? Because
Not
flights.
a snow girl.
Not a snow girl. Not a snow girl. I was really concerned, but you made it.
I made it.
You did it. You're here and you made it. Okay, so your chapter is called Seen, Love in the Darkness. Why don't you share with everyone your chapter?
Yeah, thanks. So 3 years ago, I joined a club that I never wanted to be a part of, the NICU Moms Club. And I didn't realize how hard it would be to be in the NICU with my child and how different diagnoses would come in. And it's a place where you're constantly surrounded by people and yet feeling very entirely alone.
Yeah.
And I'm very much a person that is used to controlling things and having things a certain way. And I know it's weird, hard to believe, but it's one of those things that in that NICU, you can't be that way because your heart is now on the outside of your body and you are just watching this process. And no matter how much you want to speed it up and no matter how much you want things to change, it's just a journey you have to walk through. And I feel like the Lord spoke to me so much, and I got a chance to write about that in this chapter, about how he taught me to trust him in that. And what does trust look like when you actually don't have the trust in the outcome? You don't know what the outcome is going to be, but trusting in his promises and trusting his promises never to leave you or forsake you. And I feel like I got to experience the Lord ministering to me in that way and inviting me on a journey of trust that was far exceeded anything that I probably would have done in my own strength.
No one likes a trust fall. I'm just saying.
No, definitely not. That was not
Especially
my
A-type. Listen. The flight didn't work, so we drove from Nashville. It is what, but I totally understand where you're coming from, and to be able to read your story and that being able to trust the Lord without knowing anything, without being able to control any situation, but then also being able to trust him and know that he not only loves you, but loves that sweet baby.
Yeah.
Loves that sweet baby, regardless of what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very difficult thing for us to be honest about. We all love to say, oh, I trust the Lord. He taught me how to trust. And then the outcome was favorable. Are you willing to do that if you have no idea what the outcome might be? You don't know if it's going to be favorable. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But are you willing to trust him and allow him to love you from where you are? And I love that about your chapter and just sharing and pouring your heart. For those who have ever dealt with a child that's had to be in the NICU, it's super scary.
Yeah.
It's super scary.
Yeah. Anyone whose birth didn't look like they wanted, or their pregnancy or their journey to motherhood, I feel like
my hope is that this chapter can really meet you in those moments and to help you feel seen in that too.
Oh, I love that. So what is one hope-filled thing outside of what you just said? What is one hope-filled thing you want to share with your chapter? I'm like, wait a second, we're two hopeful things. Guess what?
Sorry,
You get two. You get two, Emily. You win.
I feel like I would love women to know for people to know that God doesn't need you to have it all together.
Yes.
He doesn't need you to say the perfect prayer, to have more hope than you feel, to have more faith than you feel, but that he sees you in the depth, in the darkness, in the pain, and that is right where he'll minister to you.
I ventured to say he'd rather have that. The real, the raw, the in the dark, because then he sees exactly where you are rather than something you're trying to be that you're not quite there yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I love that. So, Emily, we're so very proud. Excellent job. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Amazon.com and buy like 10 of these for all your friends. I'm not kidding. Go right now. I'm going to put it, I'm just kidding. No, do it right now. Just kidding. Y'all, it's one of those days. Love the greatest of these, the most beautiful cover, first of all, but the most beautiful stories. So very, very different. Hopefully you can see that. Everybody's story is so different. Their walks of life are so different. And our hope and our prayer for you, like we said at the beginning, is that you find yourselves in the chapters, find yourselves in the words, find your life situation congruent with one of theirs and be able to find the hope that you need to take a step forward, to allow the Lord to love you. And for you to learn how to love like he teaches us how to love in his word, not what this world says that love is. That is a misconstrued notion. Okay. That'll get us in a lot of trouble. But to be able to have the unconditional love of the Father, this book is so just heavy laden in every single story with Christ's love. And we want that for you. I want that for everyone in this room. Seriously, and for everyone who's connected. Our Hope Writers family, our Hope Books family. Let's share the love of Jesus and let's share the love of Christ. This book is a way for us to do that, especially if we don't know the words to say. Right? We're always looking for a way to love somebody in a different way. This could be a gift that you could give to someone and give them their encouragement that they need to take a step forward in Christ's love. So our last author that's with us, and then we're going to go to some remote authors, is none other than Christy Willow Williams. Christy is no stranger to Hope Books. We love us some Christy. So Christy, your chapter, I'm so excited for them to hear about this. Yes. I'm not going to tell you. She's going to tell you, but Heaven's Heart, a living Valentine to the world. Why don't you share about not only your chapter, but the inspiration behind your chapter too? Did you bring it with you?
I don't have it right here.
You'll know what we're talking about in just a second. Yes. Go ahead. You tell the whole world.
I would love to tell you. And I was sifting through some photos, the old photos, not the photos on your phone, but the photos that are the old photos that you have in your boxes from grandparents or parents. And as I was sifting through, I found a note, and it said, it was written to my mother, Beverly, and it said, "This is an old Valentine, and give it to your daughter when you have a little girl." And in that moment, it's over 100 years old. And to think about someone thinking of me before I was a twinkle in my mother's eye, and literally finding it 20, 30 years later. And that Valentine is now 130, 40 years old. Wow. And that's the kind of living legacy that you're giving me the chance to do, to be part of this book, is this ability to be thought of, to share the story. It's a ripple. I call it Love's Echo.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Love's Echo is a theme throughout the book of how do we invite the love of the Father into our words, into what we give, the special tokens that we're able to give. I call them lovies, which I love. Happies. And that kind of moment where you're able to touch someone's life forever. And I feel like my grandmother, in the way that this Valentine was passed on, created a story that impacted my life. And I've been able to share that over and over now. I have over 500 Valentines, but I've been able to share at women's retreats and other places how much a child is loved even before they're conceived of by the mother. And when my mom had a choice to keep me or not, it was a hard choice for her to make that was made easier because a relative gave her this Valentine, and I wasn't named yet, but she was overjoyed. And every life is overjoyed. We really come to a place where you have the impact, Liz, to change a little child's life.
Yeah.
And our history is passed on generation to generation. And it's been a great privilege to be able to share that through this book. And
now you're doing it. And every one of our authors are doing it too, through written word. And Brian says this all the time. Our words are going to surpass us in age. You know, when we're gone, the words that we wrote and the words that are out there in the world are always going to go way before us, generations after us. What a beautiful thing. Over 100-year-old Valentine.
Yes. And I have one for you tonight and for each of you here today.
I love it. Yay. Okay, so what is one hope-filled thing you would love for someone to catch from your chapter tonight?
Corinthians, love never fails.
That's so good. Love never fails. So great job, my friend. Oh my goodness. Christy was like, I brought the Valentine with me. It's so neat to be able to see over 100-year-old Valentine. Believe it or not, it's those kinds of stories that can actually change the trajectory for us if we choose to act upon it, right? Can change the trajectory of our family trees. They really can. If something as what might have seemed as small in the moment could make such a ginormous impact on someone's life, think of what your written words could do. Think of what sharing your story to someone can do. It can change, honestly, it can change everything. If the Lord is at the center of it and his will is being not only walked out in it, but his love and all of the fruits of the Spirit that we're, those things that we're actually show forth that we are his followers. If we are actually acting upon those things and sharing our stories can change people's lives. And it just takes one. It just takes one life to change, right? But we have to make that choice. And I'm so thankful for each one of our authors that have made the choice to share their stories of hope and how the Lord has really just shifted everything for them through his love. Because he really does love us. He's a real, true, living God. I hope some of that's watching tonight, if you're feeling very unloved in this season, if you're feeling very unseen, we see you. God sees you. These authors see you. They wrote this just for you, right? Whoever you are. So grab yourself a copy and take some time in solitude with him, maybe on a Sabbath, right? Take some time where you can just be with him and read these hope-filled, spirit-filled words and let it change your life. Let it change your life. Okay, so we have two more authors with us tonight. They're going to be joining us remote. We're so excited that they're here. I want to give it up. Actually, the whole room's going to give it up for Brenda Ramos. Come on, Brenda. Brenda. I will never forget my first phone conversation with Brenda. I know, right? I will never forget my first phone conversation with you, Brenda. It was just the most joy-filled. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I remember saying the story you have to share is how the church should act in love.
Yeah.
My husband and I are pastors, and we've been pastors for a long time. And one of the things that we work so diligently to cultivate is relationship and love built through godly community. And that is something that you and your friends have discovered in your chapter. So your chapter is called When Love Costs Something. Why don't you share with everybody watching tonight about your chapter?
Well, thank you, Liz. Yeah, we have a friend of ours through a really separation from a husband, and you have to all the details, but through that, we have a church and we gathered together for married couples. We came together on her burden, gave of our time, And it was just Acts chapter 14. And at first we didn't realize we were there to provide comfort. And in that hard season, the Lord really just revealed himself. But what we thought we were helping what we learned from that, we don't learn or it is not only in the joyous season, but it's in those valleys down next to that, carrying their burden. Yeah, it just glad was just a way, and it just really felt like that.
Yeah. Carrying one another's burdens is not easy.
No,
which
it was tough.
you
don't want to do it sometimes.
I don't think most people just have this instinct feeling to just do it without any context. And that's the other thing too. You guys were not able to know the entire context of the situation. You knew some things, right? But just to be able to dive into help and support and love, however you could give it, just that has always spoke to my heart, because that's how I want the body of Christ to be, without any question, right? To dive right in to being the support that people need, to love them from where they are. You don't have to ask questions. We don't have to worry about the logistics. You have a need. There's something that's broken. The Lord has put us in this place to fulfill that thing, right? And I'm so thankful you not only had permission to share it from your friend, but that you so willingly shared your side of the story as well in the book. Is so absolutely beautiful. Very well done. So can you share with everyone, same question we've asked every single author tonight, what is one hope-filled thing you'd love for somebody reading your chapter to get?
That God does not waste. Even in the seasons that feel empty or confusing or unbearably heavy, he's weaving everything into something meaningful. And so even if we don't see it yet, God is able to surround us and come around us and helps us to heal and brings purpose out of us.
Yeah. That is so, so good. And I think one thing for those of us who are also on the receiving end of that, so it's one for us to be looking for ways for us to be able to love people. But there's also the other side of that, right? And I know you've dealt with this as well, Brenda, for you to have an open heart to allow people to love you. Right? To allow people to show the love of Christ for you without having every single wall 15 miles high, right? It's chiseling. The Lord wants to chisel out that heart of stone to have a heart of flesh that's tender. But that happens also through our interactions with his people. And so thank you so much, my love. We're so very proud of you all. Give it up for Brenda. Yes. We are so stinking proud of every single one of our authors, and those who are watching online. If you're just joining us, we're in our brand new Hope Books office spaces here in Matthews, North Carolina, right on Library Lane. And we are celebrating this incredible book right here, Love, the Greatest of These. And you can find it on Amazon.com. We will plug the link to it right in the chat. Give us a big shout out for any author that you're here to support tonight. We're so very proud of every single one of them. And we have one more author. I can't believe we're already into this. One more author tonight who is joining us remotely. We're so very, very proud of her as well. Y'all give it up for Angie. Y'all give it up for Angie. Angie Edelin, we're so, so very proud. Your chapter is called What If Love Hurts? God still heals broken and wounded heart. So, Ange, why don't you share a bit about your chapter with us tonight? Can you hear? Hey, Ange, 1 second. Is your sound on? You can hear me, right? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. No.
Her mic's muted.
Oh, your mic is muted.
Oops, sorry.
Hey.
Woo! I get a redo.
Girl, you are totally fine. Technical difficulties are our middle name. It's all good. All right. But we want people to be able to hear about your chapter. So start from the beginning.
Okay. So when I was growing up, and now I've got the echo.
Turn your speaker down.
Yeah, turn your speaker down just a little bit.
Is that better?
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So I was in and out of church, and I knew that I was missing stuff. And had a lot of stuff coming against me. I went through a lot of dark times in my life. But it was when I had my encounter with God, when I was at rock bottom, that blew my mind. And so he filled me, and he filled me, and I was so excited and wanted to share that with everybody. But then you bump into things that aren't easy to love. Like, whoa, Daddy, what's going on with this? So you guys put the prompt up for what is God showing you when you love on someone difficult. And when I first went into it, I was like, well, that's kind of like where I've been for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
And as I was praying, I was like, God, you know, I just, do you see this? And he was like, you're right where they're at. You're right where they're at. And it wrecked me. And he brought me and showed me and reminded me of all the healing and that I love what's inside of me, and I love because he healed me, and I love because he's amazing. And he took me layer by layer of trust to know that I could trust him and love like him.
Yeah. I love that. Oh man. And to love someone difficult is not an easy thing, but also to find out you might be the difficult one to be loved is also a difficult thing. I hope everyone's seeing the correlation to how trusting in the Lord and understanding his love are very, very much so connected. And I love the fact that you're able to just share the joy. There's just so much joy on you, Angie. There really is, to be able to just tangibly feel the joy of the Lord coming through a camera is a big deal. And so thank you for holding on to that joy and being able to share your story with us. So I'm going to ask you the same question that we've asked every one of our authors. So what is one hope-filled thing you would love for somebody to catch from your chapter tonight?
I want to speak to anybody watching that they're that's my husband. That thinks they're unlovable, that there's no hope, that God can heal anything. You are not too far gone. He will meet you right where you're at. And he will show you how glorious he is, show you how amazing he is, because you're that special to him.
Yeah. I love that. 100%. If you feel like you're in a place where you feel unloved and unlovable, there's a real, true, living God who says otherwise. He says otherwise. And not only is he here for you, but he's also creating, if he's not already created, a support system for you. You may not have just found them yet. So that, I feel like that's for somebody who's watching. But Angie, we're so very proud of you. Stick around, but don't give it up for Angie, our very last author for the night. Listen, these incredible authors have done what some people feel like might be impossible, to be able to share their life stories on paper, published, fully, completely published, and out there for the world to get to read. All right. They have done something they never thought that they would do. Some of them stretching themselves to the absolute limits. Some of them finding that they needed to be able to share more to truly get their story of God's love out there for you to read and you to partake in. So we're so very proud of each one of our authors. The book is called Love, the Greatest of These, the very first book in our Fruit of the Spirit series. Grab it on Amazon today. And why don't you also do us a favor? So when you grab it and you read it, make sure you go straight to Amazon and you rate it and you share it. Okay. That's always a big thing. Rate it for us, share it with a friend, send links out to people. I'm telling you, it's an incredible encouragement tool for the season coming. We need this book in 2026. When the world is trying to teach us how to love, that's not necessarily a godly type love, that's unconditional. Let's be countercultural, shall we? And let's love like Christ loves. So you might be asking yourself, how can I be a part of this? These people were asking the same thing not too long ago. How can I be a part of this? We have more books that are coming out in 2026. And if you are finding, maybe it's my time, maybe it's my time to take a step of faith out there and share my hope-filled words with the world, we would love for you to be a part of our next collaboration. All you have to do is go to hopebooks.com/collabs, and we will connect you with one of our team members to help make sure that your story is in the right collaboration book at the right time for this season. Trust me, you don't want to regret saying no, right? You don't want to regret saying no. Not saying yes, same thing. Saying no, say yes, say yes, say yes. Trust me, you're going to grow. You're going to find out so much more about yourself. You're going to grow as a writer. You're going to grow as a child of God. And not to mention, those hope-filled words need to be shared with someone. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. I want to give another round of applause for all of our authors in the space. We're so very proud. We will be right back here tomorrow night with a brand new collaboration book. So join us tomorrow night for Unshakable, and we will see you all very, very soon. Bye, y'all.